Right.
Boy! Keep the noise down! There's an artist at work here. Piss artist, maybe. Must have been about 2:30 when I woke back up. Again, busting for a piss. But I noticed there'd been a bit of mail, so I pulled it all out. The bail is not my other personal doings. And took it into the kitchen like a lion in its lair. There's better light in the kitchen. For some reason, most of my place is in semi-darkness. People must think I'm a part-time vampire. I think it's these energy-saving bulbs. Those flaky bulbs are like half-assed relationships. You only get so much, you don't get the real stuff. You only get meagre light, not 100%. Nothing worse than watered-down light, I say. Anyway, I'm slashing up the letters and parcels. One was to thank me for a year of supply teaching, which I've never actually embarked on. The other one, slightly damaged copy of Joyce's tumultuous masterpiece, Ulysses, after my complaint about the first one they sent being a half-chewed copy. Then there were some flower seeds I'd bought online, which included no instructions of how and when to plant the bloody things. Thank you for nothing. And then there's the red card saying we came but you were out, and can you pick up your parcel after 24 hours at the main sorting office in town. And again, thank you for not knocking louder. Tell you, some postmen or women can be awkward cunts. Right, so I placed 2 tea bags in a cup, put the kettle on and went to the John. The cat sat outside the door with a peculiar look on its face. Last night she'd been sick again right outside my bedroom door. When she's sick these days, it's not runny and loose material. No, it's almost like a brown tampax with string hanging from it. Usually about 2 inches long by half an inch thick. I figured the stringy bits was the wrong kind of grass she'd been eating. Anyway, I cleaned it, threw it down the toilet rapidly and disinfected the whole area like an Agent Orange attack. When I'd finished in the cars, I made sure I closed the door properly. When I don't close the door, the cat goes in there and for some reason completely unknown to me, she likes to drink the water I put my toothbrush in. I don't have to tell you why this quite vile and utterly thing is a big no-no. I took some vitamins and by the time I'd put milk in my tea I'd realised it had gone cold. I don't mind cold tea. Most of my family won't let me make a cup of tea for them because they know it'll be cold by the time they get it. When they complain and tell me I'm weird, I say yes, but James Bond had it iced. Like a lolly made of iced tea. Imagine that if you can. Then I noticed the box of 6 eggs I'd purchased locally a few days ago. I'd bought them because they'd reached their sell-by date and had a red sticker on with a reduced price. I like a bargain. I like reduced price eggs. It also had written on it, in biro across the box, 1 egg missing. Not 1 egg smashed, or 1 egg committed suicide, or 1 egg gone, or 1 egg damaged beyond repair, or 1 egg wounded in action, but 1 egg missing. This made me think it had escaped during the night. Had it gone AWOL, or had it run off with a succulent young tomato and fallen in love with it? A real mixed marriage that would be. Imagine their offspring. Young mixed side salad, they would call them. Get to the back of the bus, you mixed side salad. They would be ostracised at school, called names like you should have been grated at birth, or how can you dice that? Or hey, look at those horrible sandwich fillers here. He must have absconded for a reason. Maybe he knew something the other eggs didn't, of what was to come. The omelette holocaust. And there's me assuming it was male. It could have been a female egg. It could have been a gay egg. That prodigal egg. In fact, for all I know, it could have committed suicide if it knew what its fate was going to be. The suicidal egg. So, After these and many more assorted fractured thoughts, I put the remaining 5 in a pan of warm water and placed the pan on the stove marked 2. I know 2 is hardly sufficient, but recently, when boiling eggs, I have tended to place them on the stove at, say, 5, and then gone to the front room to watch something engrossing on TV, and then I'm disturbed by a loud popping and cracking noise. After establishing that it's not burglars breaking in or the cat trapped in the flap again, I discover the eggs have boiled dry. There's nothing worse than your eggs boiling dry. It destroys the bottom of the pan and the eggs become like grenades. This has happened twice in the last month, so safety first, belt and braces as they say. Leave it on 2. If I do forget or get distracted, which will no doubt happen, it's not a catastrophe. While the eggy weggies were fermenting, quietly in the said pan I spied an array of bananas I had forgotten about. I normally have at least 1 a day, but for some reason I've not had a banana for a couple of days now. And I do like a banana, I do. I do tend to get invaded though by these tiny fruit flies which make a home in my banana bowl. I've noticed this for quite a few years now. I've tried various ways to combat these pesky little bloody things, ranging from a jar with vinegar wine or beetroot juice with tinfoil over the top with small holes in it. This is so that once they're in, they can't get back out. It worked for a while, but after a period I got the impression it was actually helping them to breed. There seemed to be twice as many as before. And then they were joined by the small black flies you get living around the drains in the bathroom. These are the kind of flies that love soap and damp cloths. They must be incredibly clean flies. That's all I can say. So, when choosing my banana from the bunch of around 6, I noticed that since I had bought them a few days ago, they were now all peppered with this brown freckled pattern on them. I wondered how this could happen, and I surmised that it was these flies bombarding the banana skins with air raids. Like a small version of the Luftwaffe, these flies crash into the bananas day and night looking for a way in, looking for a break in the skin. And because of this relentless aerial bombardment, it tends to leave small brown specks on the surface of the banana's complexion. Some of these kamikaze flies must be battered and severely bruised after such missions and sorties. I tore off the least affected banana. Then I tried to remember what type of flowers these seeds would produce if and when I planted them.